The JBT scam has brought to the fore the issue of whistleblower, the grey area in the absence of any law to protect such people, and whether this Haryana Cadre IS officer from 1989 batch was a whistleblower himself. In fact, many are asking questions after his conviction about whom to call a whistleblower, an approver, and whether we are anywhere near a Whistleblowers Protection Act. The facts which have come to light are that once a person is complicit in an act of crime cannot claim to be a whistleblower. In the JBT teachers scam, the court found that Sanjeev Kumar himself was hand in glove with Om Prakash Chautala in the entire conspiracy, which was well planned. It was much later that he blew the whistle. However, he still misled the court on various occasions vis-a-vis documents presented in the court of law. The accused IS officer Sanjeev Kumar kept calling himself a whistleblower when nobody called him one, and he couldn't have been called an approver till the time the court decided to call him one. But who can be called a whistleblower? By its very definition, a whistleblower is a man who brings to the public domain an information which informs one about dishonesty committed in any form, right from carrying fraud, violation of rule of law, etc.
It depends on the particular case. It can't be like this. At the most, जो prosecution witness बन जाता है, उसके लिए तो हो सकता है. Otherwise, it can't be like this. And in particular this case, there are number of persons who have clearly stated that we have signed two lists, and they were the member of the selection committee. And court says that they were true before the investigating agency as well as before the court. Still, a punishment of 4 months, sentence of 4 years has been granted to them. So it is not complicity, cannot be granted like in a simple case. Then everybody will do this. Once you have committed the crime and then you are saying that we did it, that can't be like this.
Also, a person who later on says that unintentionally he became part of such a practice too can be termed one, but only after having sufficiently proved his incidental participation and not by virtue of one's will.
So in this case, the court has found certain IS officers to be co-conspirators and accomplices of all the people who have now been convicted of corruption. So I think at this stage, if anybody is asked for leniency by saying no, they were actually trying to help the court, I think from my point of view, there is no substance in it, and I don't think that they will help their cause if they take such a plea.
There are many who say that Kumar was more like an approver than a whistleblower. However, legal experts say even if one wants to turn into an approver, it is not a matter of right, but a matter of being allowed to be called so by the court of law. However, Sanjeev Kumar cannot even be called an approver. What he did was basically aimed at settling scores with Chautalas, and in doing that was caught in his own web. The special CBI judge Vinod Kumar, while sentencing Sanjeev Kumar, observed that had he spoken the truth, the court would have treated him differently than the other convicts. He also said that sentencing Kumar troubled him a lot. However, in the words of CBI judge Vinod Kumar, somebody can only be termed as a whistleblower, A, only if such a person is a victim of circumstances, and B, if the whistleblower has a minor role in the commission of offence, and then the courts can come forward to his rescue and in appropriate cases may not hesitate to make him an approver. Who is this man who calls himself a whistleblower? Sanjeev Kumar is a 1989 batch IS officer who served as Director Primary Education at the time the JBT scam took place. He had filed a writ petition in the Supreme Court alleging that the state government led by Chief Minister Om Prakash Chautala had resorted to corrupt practices while recruiting 3,206 junior basic trained teachers. Kumar had then accused Chautala of forcing him to change the original list of candidates selected for the appointment of over 2,000 teachers. Chautala on his part made a counter-allegation and accused Kumar of himself indulging in corrupt practices. The case was handed over to the Central Bureau of Investigation. Throughout the trial, Sanjeev Kumar kept reiterating that he was the whistleblower in the case, even as he was being tried for his being party to the entire gamut of events, as a result of which the JBT scam happened. And Chautala sat comfortably thinking that he had done no wrong except giving jobs to his voters. However, the judge took cognizance of the entire selection process under Section 13 Clause 1 of the Prevention of Corruption Act, whereby any pecuniary benefit being awarded to undeserving people also amounts to corruption. As a result now, with the Chautala duo of father and son, Sanjeev Kumar, the self-proclaimed whistleblower, is also languishing in the jail. Even as this judgment has come, it has also made whistleblowing into a grey area to a lot of uninformed people, and a lot of people would not like to follow in the footsteps of Sanjeev Kumar or even its remote shadow, and would like to see the Whistleblowers Act very much in place any time soon. With camera person Rinku Behra, Shamshed Chandel, Day and Night News, Chandigarh.